All right, what it do, world? Welcome to the Market Banter podcast. You are, as always, rocking with me. I am Dion Rabouin, financial journalist, writer of the Axios Markets newsletter, and of course, my main man, the working man, the people's champ, New York City comedian Dan Enfield is with me. What's going on, Dan?
What's going on, man? How are you? Coming to you live from Miami, Florida.
From Miami, Florida, we got a. I would say it's bicoastal. It's not actually bicoastal, but we got Miami. Dan's coming at you from Miami. I am coming at you from Denver, Colorado, aka the Rocky Mountain State, aka the Mile High City.
Right.
Doing big things.
Doing big things,
which is exciting.
Man, you would not believe what's
we
going
got a
on.
great, fantastic. Wait, I got to tell the people that we got a great, fantastic, spectacular show for them because that's what's most important. We got Reese Giddins. He is the Chief Technology Officer and President at Greenwood. Greenwood's one of these new financial institutions. They're basically, if you've heard anything about Killer Mike and his Bank Black effort, Reese Giddins is one of the leaders of Greenwood. That's what Killer Mike is working on, bringing folks back to the banks. We're going to talk about banking. We're going to talk a little bit about Black banking. And Dan said something really offensive that you'll want to listen in for. Don't miss that.
Oh, wow.
I'm joking. Dan didn't actually say anything offensive.
Well,
but it was a really good interview, and we'll have that coming up.
Wouldn't be the first time I did that, so.
Yeah, would not. No, but I should tell people the interview was pre-recorded a couple days ago, and I was gonna try to wear the same shirt and like the same, glasses and everything, but I'm in a new place now. I'm basically a vagabond going from place to place. So it will be very obvious that I am not where I was when we recorded that interview with Reese Giddins. Mm-hmm. So just, pretend that you think this is all one recording from the same day at the same time and go with it, and you'll be a lot more happy. Dan, what's going on in Florida?
Man, you would not believe what's going on down here. I feel like I'm in an alternate planet. I got to do comedy last night for the first time in like 10 months. There were people drinking. Wow. There was like bottle popping going on. There were like chicks dancing on tables.
Okay.
I don't know what the heck is going on down here. It's, I'm wearing the mask. I'm being safe, but it's like, I feel like I'm in an alternate reality.
Yeah. So what you're saying to our listeners and viewers here is you definitely have the coronavirus.
Right. Well,
so everyone...
Yeah,
we're gonna open up a GoFundMe for Dan's COVID-19 treatment.
Right, my eventually
because clearly Dan doesn't learn.
Yes.
Yeah, Dan doesn't learn. He got COVID earlier this year, and he's back to doing comedy in Florida.
I can't believe it, man.
Yeah. All right.
It's wild.
Yeah, you don't learn. You don't learn.
I just don't. Yeah.
This is.
I just the world needs my comedy.
The coronavirus is.
Yeah.
And that's why the coronavirus is spreading around the United States.
There you go. I think you could do a link. It's like this. It goes like this. My comedy goes up, so does so do the case numbers.
Yeah. All right. Well, anyway, let's jump into the interview with Reese Giddins right here. Like I said, he is the Chief Technology Officer and President at Greenwood. It's a new financial product offering bank, all types of things. Reese is going to tell you all about it right now. All right. We have Reese Giddins. He is the President, Chief Technology Officer of Greenwood Bank. Reese, thanks so much for being with us here on the Market Banter podcast.
Thank you guys so much for having me. It's a pleasure to be with you guys this afternoon.
Yeah, so Greenwood is putting kind of a modern spin on a classic idea, this idea of banking Black. And, this is a thing that, like I say, we've heard about for quite some time. Talk to me a little bit about Greenwood and what it is that you all are doing and the mission and just kind of all that.
Yeah, so your first statement about it being kind of the classic idea, I don't know if it's classic or even legacy at this point. I still feel like we're trying to figure it out, right? So Greenwood, the name, pays homage to Black Wall Street and the Greenwood Financial District in the early 1900s, 1920s, where there was a thriving community of 18,000 families, individuals, doctors, lawyers, pharmacists, blue collar, carpenters, you name it, grocers, all thriving. Every dollar that went into that community recirculated 36 times. And if you fast forward to today, based off of, kind of banking black model or just banking in general, the dollar circulates in the black community up to 6 hours. And so when you talk about the purchasing power that the Black and Latinx populations communities have, you're talking about roughly $2.5 trillion of purchasing power. And so we want to bring a platform, a banking platform that serves four needs. One, to be a best-in-class mobile or digital solution. Two, we want to be able to recirculate dollars back into the community. Three, we want to be able to provide capital in the form of loans back into the community to small businesses and to consumers. And then four, the partnerships with some of these black banks to be able to offer deposit services and loans as well.
Gotcha. And is your goal to affect the financial system, or is your goal more to provide services for individuals?
So our goal is to affect, number one, we want to deal with the problem statement, which is we've known for too long that whether you're underserved or underbanked, that the traditional financial institution system has failed Black and Latinx people, right? So we want to be able to create a platform. And how do we know that, right? So we know that there's been lawsuits against the Big Four. We know that
the Big Four banks.
The Big Four banks. We know that when you apply for mortgages, typically black people have issues there. I was just reading an article yesterday that almost 40% of black people specifically do not get loans on a refinance based off of or when compared to their counterparts. That's a big deal, right? So the platform that we want to build is a best-in-class solution for traditional banking, right? So we're not, we're going to be able to offer a spending account, a savings account. We want to offer a debit card, give you all the bells and whistles, virtual card, Samsung Pay, Google Pay, Android Pay. We want to give you all of those features that you would expect in a best-in-class solution and allow you to bank the way that you want to, right? And we want to serve those individuals. Once again, we're targeting, the mass affluent, the 36 to 40% African Americans that essentially have the capital to put into a bank, whether that's a Wells Fargo customer or Chase customer, it doesn't matter. What we're looking to do is provide best-in-class services.
So you talk about the best-in-class services. What does that mean? Because I myself, I bank at Chase. I have a number of different bank accounts. Why should I make the switch to Greenwood? I mean, is it just that I want to, bank black, help, power to the people, or is there an actual, a real monetary benefit that I'm getting from making that move?
Yeah, so I think that's a good question. And we're a neobank. I mean, you probably are familiar with the Chimes of the world, the Aspirations of the world. They're neobanks. We kind of operate in the same space. I think the differentiator between us and a Chase or another neobank is the fact that we want to give back to the community. It's number 2 on the list that I kind of shared. And how we do that is through our roundup feature, where you can come in and open an account and then partner with us to do a roundup feature where you round your change on transactions that you make to give back to causes that are important to you. So you can partner with us on civil rights, right? With the NAACP, you can feed more hungry people in Atlanta through our partnership with Gooder, or you can partner with us on education with the United Negro College Fund. So it really just depends on, if you're looking to build a strong relationship. And so we're not after another customer, we're after a relationship. So from your deposit and savings, from your debit card, all the way to the end, where we talk about your life and your will estate. So we're going to be able to offer all of those features and functions to you as a customer that's relationship based, as well as giving you the opportunity to partner with us and give back to the community and recirculate dollars back in.
What's the ultimate goal? I mean, Greenwood would be a success if X happened. What is X?
So I love this question. Greenwood is already a success. Not even with a product and market. We're already a success, right? The mere fact that we're having this conversation on your platform right now, the mere fact that we launched the company and we've got hundreds of thousands of people on the waiting list waiting to get access to the product, we're already a success. What I think, again, going back to the list of items, one, to build a best-in-class platform, two, to be able to recirculate dollars, be able to help out the community, be able to affect businesses through the forms of loans. And small businesses are hurting right now. It'd be great if they had access to capital.
It's definitely true for sure.
Right. And then four is,
so there's a waiting list, you were saying, by the way?
There's a waiting list. I definitely will.
Wow.
Yeah, absolutely. But number four is, these partnerships, as we're building this multi-billion-dollar platform, shame on us if we don't reach back out to our partners at some of these other banks that are in the community that we feel like we could help. So we believe that is our true mission. And here's the thing: we're a for-profit. I mean, we're a banking platform, so we're for-profit. But we want to be able to really affect the community. That's our real mission, and that's what drove me to come over from one of my cushy jobs to support what we're doing.
So 2 questions. The first one being about what you said. I mean, a lot of people say they want to give back to the community. They want to affect the community. What does that actually mean, and how does Greenwood do that? Yeah.
So again, we have the partnerships within the community with, again, feeding hungry people. We have the partnership with the NAACP, partnership with United Negro College Fund. So we're going to donate through our Roundup feature. That's number one. Number two, we're going to provide a grant to small businesses in the form of $10,000 a month to small businesses in the community. Number three, we're going to match the Roundup that our customers make on a quarterly basis. So that's what we mean when we say give back to the community. We had a Thanksgiving event about a couple of weeks ago with Killer Mike and T.I. That turned out to be a major success. That was one of our first community events. We plan to do more events like that to just really create change in the community and let the community know that we're there for them. For too long, some of the larger banks, as they've kind of scaled through mergers and acquisitions from community banks to now, national banks, they've essentially moved out of the community. So left predatory lenders or check cashing opportunities. So we want Greenwood to be, although digital, we want our presence to be felt inside the community.
So now, how do you do that, though? Like you said, you're for profit. You guys are out to make money. So how do you, match the Roundup feature? How do you give these big grants to small businesses and still make a profit?
Yeah, good question. So we've got a model that we've been following and kind of looking at, but also it goes back to finding qualified applicants for the loans, right? It comes back to, the partnership agreements that we've created. And it also comes back to kind of our overall mission, right? So yes, I mean, all businesses want to make money, but there's a level of greed there, right? So it's, how much money do you actually need? And so we believe that, here's the thing, I'd rather give money to small businesses knowing that there are going to be a ton of other small businesses that will come to Greenwood, right? And there are opportunities there. There are opportunities, again, not just for a depository relationship, but across the spectrum, right? So it's deposits, it's lending, it's home loans, it's, setting up teen accounts. There's a variety of services and features there that create revenue streams for us.
So am I correct in, you guys make money the same way a typical bank would, except that you give some of it back and then there's more and that's enough for profit?
Yeah, I mean, I would agree with you. I mean, banks have models and they make money off of those models. Now, the one beauty about Greenwood, which I love, is that there are no hidden fees. So customers will know what the fees are upfront when they go to sign up for an account and in their deposit statement and before they turn on a feature. So there are no hidden fees.
Okay. And yeah, Dan, you were asking a question about the waiting list. I think I would go ahead and
that's amazing. So is this the kind of thing someone can go get involved with right now, or you said there's a waiting list? Yeah.
Yeah. So if you think about, maybe a Robinhood or a Chime with their new feature, they created a wait list. So we have a wait list for the product, which we'll launch in Q1 of 2021. And so the beautiful thing about the waiting list is when we finally launch the product and it's available in the app stores or the Google Play Store, we can kind of give a little at a time versus open the floodgates. So I'm really excited about that. But you can move up the wait list or down the wait list, if you will, by sharing it out with your friends and family and getting them on the wait list and having them available.
You got to know somebody, right?
Yeah, you got to know somebody. You got to know some people. Yeah. But yeah, like I said, we've got hundreds of thousands of people sitting there on the wait list. They're excited about the product equally as I am in terms of getting the product out the door. So really excited to do that. Got a great team between Ryan Glover, Killer Mike, Ambassador Andrew Young. The collection of talent there is just amazing. So really excited about what we're going to do and the change that we're going to have, not just in the Atlanta community, but I think nationally.
Yeah. And Reese, last question I want to ask you before I let you get out of here. And thank you again for joining us on Market Banter today. I wrote a story a little bit early this year about the myth of closing the racial wealth gap through Black-owned banks. And a lot of folks have said, oh, if we just open more Black-owned banks, or, if more Black people would just bank at Black banks, that would close the racial wealth gap. And through this article, I showed that that's not true. White-owned institutions have about $17 trillion of assets, while Black-owned institutions, banks, have about $5 billion. And I had a chart that shows basically what that looks like. And it's, but the reaction that I got that I didn't expect was that people said, oh, so that means you just shouldn't try. There's no hope and you should just give up. Can you just talk to me about, obviously you know those numbers and you're familiar with those statistics. Why does that mean that folks should still pursue options like banking Black and things like Greenwood, even though it's not going to close the racial wealth gap or be the end-all solution that makes everything equal?
Yeah, so that's something that's near and dear. Part of it is education, right? So I have an educator background, and I think education is key from a consumer market, right? Helping folks understand the products that are out there, how to take them and use them to your advantage. That's number one. Number two, having that capital out there. So you talked about the racial wealth gap. Well, if you've got to look at it from kind of where is the wealth, right? And I don't know how many individuals are on the billionaires list, but there aren't a lot of Black people, right? So you can look there and kind of see the number of white folks. Number two, you look at the wealth generating tools, home ownership among Black and white, vastly different, right? And so those are two areas. One, especially business. Two, on owning a home that creates wealth. What do you do with that wealth? You then pass it down. So again, still talking from a consumer perspective, but from a banking perspective, here, listen, we've got some great banking institutions that are out there, but we need more. And then we need folks to come and not just put $1,000 into a Black bank. We need folks to come and create relationships and get loans and get homes, and we need those banks to continue to grow and have the technology and all those other things. And so we feel like Greenwood can fit in that space. It's not an end all to be all. It's going to be a constant growth. But I do think with the knowledge that we've had over the last, 50 years or so, I feel like we're positioning ourselves. We're not there yet, but I have hope in humanity. I'm hoping that we will start to close the wealth gap over time. I think that Greenwood, with the platform that we're creating and our partnerships with some of these MDIs, as well as talking to some of these larger banks about some of the issues, will create opportunities for small businesses and consumers.
All right. I think that was a great answer and a great place to end. Reese Giddins, you got anything else you want to add?
No, I want to say thank you. This is a great platform. I enjoyed talking with you guys. If you haven't signed up already, please go to www.bankgreenwood.com. Get on the wait list. We're excited to have you. Share with all your friends so you can move down and come join us when we launch the product here in Q1.
Yeah. Reese, since we had you on the podcast, can I move down the wait list a little bit?
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask.
Let me know when you sign up, guys. Let me know. And check out the commercial.
Yeah, you guys just shot a commercial, you said?
Yeah, we just dropped a commercial with the gentleman from Grey's Anatomy, Jesse Williams. Check it out. Awesome commercial. He's an investor in Greenwood, not just great talent. He was fantastic. So we just dropped Act 2. Go check that out. You can find that on our website or on our social media platforms.
All right. Reese Giddins, President and Chief Technology Officer at Greenwood. Thanks so much for being with us.
Thank you, guys. Have a great day.
All right, so that was our interview with Reese Giddins of Greenwood Financial. Really interesting interview. We want to send people out on the holidays on a good note, right? Because you got the holidays coming up. Dan, what's something good and nice and wonderful that you have to say? Because I have a rant that I need to go on.
I'm just looking forward to 2020 being over, man. It's just like the fact that it's in the rearview mirror just puts me in a good mood. And I don't know for sure that 2021 is going to be better, but I just have to believe it can't get any worse, the optimist in me. So hope that, there's going to be trending up going forward now. So.
Yeah. Well, you'll have the coronavirus in 2021.
Right. So I mean, come on. It's already off on a great note.
I was going to say it might not start so great, but then it can only go up from there.
A few coughs, a few bottles of Mucinex later, and I'll be on my way, man.
Yeah. Give our listeners some tips for dealing with the coronavirus since you've had it already. What would you suggest they do?
It was so strange. I took Tylenol or Motrin, felt totally fine, as soon as the Motrin kicked in. And then as soon as it wore off, I felt like crap again. So I would just say stock up on the Motrin, stock up on the fluids, be prepared to have no appetite for a while, no taste, no smell. So that's about it. I saw Lamar Jackson when he had it was pretty much bedridden for 2 weeks too, which made me feel a little bit better because, that guy's probably at like the height of physical fitness. Right. So if he was, having the same issues I was having, maybe I'm not as unhealthy as I think. I don't know. Maybe so.
If it took out Lamar Jackson, then it's not about your health at all.
Right.
It's just about, it was a crazy disease. All right. Well, thank you, Dr. Dan.
There you go, man.
Some medical tips for everyone who gets coronavirus, because lots of people are probably going to get it over this Christmas holiday.
It seems that way, yeah.
Get it from and spread it to loved ones.
There you go.
All right. So my little rant is just on going into 2021. I want to talk about this thing I've been talking a little bit about on some other platforms, the 2021 economy. And it's one where, we've all been used to, and some guests we've had on here have talked to us about kind of the movement of stock prices where, when these growth stocks like a Google, like a Facebook, Apple are so high that all the high expectations are built into them, and that you've got to look for some of the value stocks, or that, it should be planes, or, whatever it is, places where the market isn't already looking. And I think that's sort of a relic of the old days, because in the 2021 economy, basically everyone believes that these big companies are going to take greater and greater market share, that even though, new, what's the word they use? Disruptive technologies are supposed to be coming out. The big companies can just buy up the disruptors, right? And then now they've got the disruptive company. They own it. Look at Facebook with Instagram or WhatsApp or,
crazy.
Like
Salesforce
basically all
Slack,
the acquisitions. Yeah, exactly. All the acquisitions. That's kind of the thing. I mean, you just are sort of betting that even if a company comes along that's going to disrupt the business of one of these big companies, they'll just buy it. That's thing number one. Number two, in the 2021 economy, small businesses are going to have a really hard time because of thing number one, right? So it's going to be really hard for the local economy to compete, because especially after what we've seen with the Fed juicing the economy, juicing the markets, and all of that being sucked up by the big companies and the debt markets and in the stock market, there's just not a lot to go around, or there's been less support or additional support to go for them compared to what the big guys have gotten. So they were big in the first place, and then they got this huge level of support from the Fed. They also got some help from the federal government. So the playing field is just more uneven than it's ever been. I'm not saying go out and only buy growth stocks, even though I have said that on this program kind of facetiously, but I will say prepare yourself for the 2021 economy. And the third thing I'll say is, everyone makes a lot of references to 2000. They say, oh, this is a bubble just like 2000. The tech bubble burst. PEs are back at the same level. The market's back at the same level of irrational exuberance, as they say. And the biggest difference that we have to watch out for right now is the Fed and central banks have decided that there is no limit to what they can do, because the economy has to be growing. Stock prices have to be going up. If stock prices aren't going up, then something's wrong and it needs to be fixed. And that means more liquidity. It means more quantitative easing. bond buying, maybe stock buying, whatever the case. If you want to see our future, look at Japan. Again, not exactly a replica because we have the dollar, so we could actually potentially do more than what they've done, the world's global funding currency. But also, the economy of the US is very different from the economy of Japan, but I think we're headed on that road. So in the 2021 economy, yes, we're in a bubble. Yes, we're in a mania. That doesn't mean that it has to crash because you have these global central banks with literally unlimited capacity to print money and to buy bonds or stocks or other financial assets. And they're adding the counterweight, which we hadn't seen back in 2000. So you have to keep that in mind. Rant over.
There you go. Hey, man, when you speak, I listen.
Were you? Because it looked like you were checking your email.
No. I'm here. No, I'm totally here, man. You've got me captivated.
All right, good. I'm glad you were captivated. Dan, any rant you want to go on?
Just, yeah, I mean, kind of to piggyback off what you said, basically, I'm very curious to see what happens. I mean, there's a lot up in the air, and I'm really curious to see what happens. I want to be optimistic. I hope, things bounce back. But you're right. I mean, it seems like this could be a situation of the big people get bigger, the little guy gets crushed.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think we're headed for more of that because the stock market does start to fall. Fed's got to do more, which is going to juice the big guys even more. And we're just kind of in this, what I think the issue is, a lot of people think it's a virtuous cycle and it's actually a vicious circle.
Ooh.
But, that's where we are. That's the 2021 economy. Get on this 2021 economics. Stop worrying about 1920s economics and Adam Smith and the invisible hand. That's not what's happening anymore. If you're not up on what's going on with the Fed, the ECB, the BOJ, those are the names that matter. And that's what you got to watch.
BOJ is Bank
anyway, I'll get back to my
BOJ is
Bank of Japan.
Okay. Yeah.
You could also be, that's the boring BOJ, the boring important BOJ. The fun BOJ is the Bank of Jamaica, who makes music videos and does memes on Twitter.
Do they really?
So yeah, follow them. Yeah, they really do. They have they've made multiple music videos. It's great.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's all about yeah. It's like keeping interest rates low keeps inflation dateable. Keep the growth going. Oh, I don't. It's much better than that. You're
not making this up.
If you haven't, look up. No, I swear to God, the Bank of Japan or the Bank of Jamaica does music videos. It's like reggae music, real deal. They get real musicians to sing about interest rates and inflation and stable prices. I swear to God, this is a real thing.
Oh my God, I'm going to go to Google right after this and check that out, man.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, thanks everyone for tuning into Market Banter. From Dion Rabouin here in the Mile High City, Dan Enfield down there in whatever Florida or Miami is called.
Yeah.
Does the city have a nickname?
Does Miami have a nickname?
Yeah.
Miami is sometimes known as Magic. It's sometimes known as Magic City. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. I think it's Magic City. Happy holidays Happy holidays to everyone. Happy Kwanzaa. And thanks for tuning into Market Banter. We hope you'll catch up with us when we're back.
Oh yeah. Happy holidays.